Hello. This week's unit meditation technique video is on conscious breathing. What is conscious breathing? Very powerful meditation practice. And it's one that you don't just have to do while you're, seated in lotus position with a tall spine and crown of the head to the ceiling and all that jazz. It's really something you can do at any moment in your awake life. And that includes going to the grocery store, or especially when interacting with somebody that challenges you, or while you're doing stuff on social media, or while you're at work. You can take this everywhere, and the more you take this into everyday life, the more transformative it will be. And it's basically a process of integrating meditation into everyday life rather than something we just do for 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. So, conscious breathing is truly just bringing awareness to your breath right now. Notice it. You don't have to manipulate it. You don't have to breathe in deeply. You don't have to do the nose breathing or any fancy pranayama. I mean, those are beautiful. But the simplistic practice of conscious breathing is literally just bringing awareness to the breath. Before I mentioned your breathing, you may not have been aware of it. It was happening. It's just sort of happening automatically. So when it was happening automatically without any of your awareness, then it was it was unconscious breathing. And in this type of unconscious, I don't mean as in negative or anything. It just means it as in lack of awareness. The moment I mentioned breathing, you might have gone, oh yeah, breathe. And that's in like nanosecond that you recognized reminder to breathe, and then you start breathing, you're consciously breathing again. And this practice is one of the two fundamental meditation techniques for living in meditation, in enlightenment, breathing. The other one I'll do next week is inner body awareness, feeling your inner body. These are the two that have transformed my life the most, although there are a lot of other really interesting and fun and powerful meditation techniques that I'll be sharing in weeks after. But these first two are really, big ones. They're pillars. So definitely start to practice this. As Eckhart says, one conscious breath is a meditation. So you could be in the middle of anything, and all of a sudden you have this reminder, oh, breathe. And you go, oh, okay, breathing. Boom, instantly you're in meditation. Because the breath is always in the present moment. In meditation, is aligning yourself with the present moment. So as I'm talking to you, I have some awareness in my breath still. And this is really powerful, especially when you're communicating with people, verbally, or, even while you're talking on social media and somebody triggers you. Well, if you're really anchored in your breath, you have a stronger foundation to not becoming reactive, to not falling into the antics of the mind, the conditioning in the pain bodies. But when you do find yourself in a pain body or in some kind of negativity, then again, use that moment of suffering as a reminder to breathe. Reminder to go, oh yes, conscious breathing, okay. As you should do right now. Conscious breath, right now. And you don't need to think about it, just experience it, enjoy it. Part of its power is derived from the fact that it is so simple. It's so simple that the mind can't do anything with it. It can't chew on it. It can't contemplate it. So the simplicity of the conscious breathing sort of forces the mind to be quiet, which is a big part of the purpose of meditation. Quieting that busy mind that we've grown accustomed to having. And if you lose your conscious breath in weeks, I guess, or maybe even minutes or hours go by, especially when you're in seated meditation and you're You're going to make your focus, okay, I'm going to focus on conscious breathing for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And so you sit, you're breathing in and out, just noticing it, and then thoughts start coming in. Who knows what about? Could be about anything. And your attention gets lost in that thought train. And time goes by, a few minutes maybe, even the whole meditation, before all of a sudden you remember, oh, I'm supposed to be focusing on my breath completely. And that moment you go, oh, I lost it, is the moment to return to it. Drop the story, drop the commenting, drop the judgment of losing it, and go right back to experiencing the breath. Very powerful practice. And the more you practice, the more you'll be able to sustain full, undivided attention on the breathing, which also means quiet mind. And that gap between thoughts will start to extend, and you will start to consequently experience a lot more peace and stillness, because the joy, the peace, the stillness, all the good stuff is in this gap between your thoughts. And you can learn to grow this gap, to become comfortable with it, and even to realize that it is you, the more you practice these meditation techniques like conscious breathing. So again, noticing the breath. Lastly, to give you also for your weekly practice, I recommend either downloading there's various apps called Mindfulness Bells, or you can just set random timers on your phone. Either way, the idea comes from Thich Nhat. He has a monastery village called Plum Village, where they randomly ring a bell to the community, and the whole community pauses, comes back, drops whatever they're thinking or doing or saying or whatever. It drops everything for a split second and focuses on just the breath. And then everything goes back, and after that, everything just continues on, whatever feels like it needs to be continued anyway. And it's such a powerful practice. When I first heard that, I realized I could apply that to my daily life. So I used a mindfulness timer. Mindfulness Bell is kind of the concept. It's a reminder to breathe, a reminder to be present in the midst of all of our busyness and activities and things. So set yourself some reminders. You can make post-it notes that you could put around the house. Just say breathe, and every time you see one, you go, oh yeah. Just one conscious breath. Or you set a timer on your phone, and it dings randomly, and you go. If you're present, you'll hear the ding. If you're not present, you won't even hear the ding. It'll ding, and you'll just be doing stuff, and not even hear it. That's okay. But when you do hear it, pause and breathe. Doing this for a while was really powerful for me. And then to take it to the final level is to then practice and train yourself to use any form of suffering as your mindfulness bell. This takes a bit of advancement in the practice, but it's very, very transformative. In other words, whenever you feel resistance, anger, sadness, fear, suffering of any kind, as we're going to explore a lot in these units, when you can catch that suffering and use that as your mindfulness bell, the ding, and you hear that like, oh, I'm losing my practice. Go back to conscious breath. Go back to meditation right now, regardless of where you are. Again, you don't have to close your eyes to meditate. One conscious breath. And that has such a power to pull you out of the story, to pull you out of the suffering. It's like a sword that just cuts through the story, cuts through the mind, cuts through the drama. Incredibly powerful. But if that doesn't work for you at this moment, then use the reminders first. Build that, strengthen that sort of muscle and faith that this actually works. And then when you're ready to go on into letting go of a lot of this other suffering, then use suffering as your mindfulness bell. Consciously breathe. So powerful. So enjoy. And to end this, I'd like to challenge you to 1, hold your awareness in the breath like you have right now. And see how long you can hold this. How long can you hold the awareness before you get distracted? You get pulled into something else so completely. So the video will end and you'll move on doing something on Facebook or whatever. Somebody calls for your attention, whatever. See if you can bring your breathing, conscious breathing, into that. Just hold it as long as you can. And enjoy.